The last thing I remember is her voice whispering, "I'll take care of you," as she injected something into my IV. I'm not sure why I'm sharing this story now, after all these years. Maybe it's because I've been thinking about that night a lot lately, and I need to get it out of my system. Or maybe it's because I've been having these dreams, nightmares really, where I'm back in that hospital bed, and Nurse Thompson is standing over me. Her eyes black as coal, her smile twisted and wrong. It started with a routine surgery. I was nervous, but the doctors reassured me it was nothing to worry about. I was put under anesthesia, and the next thing I knew, I was waking up in the ICU. That's where I met Nurse Thompson. She was friendly, efficient, and seemed to know exactly what she was doing. But as the night wore on, I started to notice strange things. She'd come in to check on me, and I'd catch her staring at me with this intensity, like she was studying me, or trying to read my thoughts. At first, I brushed it off as paranoia, but as the hours crept by, I became more and more convinced that something was off. One of the other nurses came in to give me medication, and I overheard her whispering to Thompson about a special procedure that was scheduled for later that night. Thompson nodded, and they both glanced over at me. I tried to ask them what it was, but they just smiled and told me it was nothing to worry about. As the night wore on, Thompson's behavior became more and more erratic. She'd inject things into my IV, and I'd feel this surge of energy, like my heart was racing out of control. She'd whisper strange things in my ear, like, "You're going to be just fine," or, "Don't worry, I'll take care of you." But her voice was always low and menacing, like she was trying to reassure me of something that wasn't true. I tried to call for help, but the nurse call button didn't seem to work. I was trapped, and Thompson was the only one who could hear me. I started to feel like I was losing my mind. And then, there were the other patients. I'd hear them crying out in pain or begging for help. But when Thompson came in to check on them, she'd just smile and tell them everything was fine, like she was hiding something from them, or from me. I don't know how much longer I could have endured it, but then something changed. Thompson's demeanor shifted, and she became different. Her eyes seemed to darken, and her smile grew wider. She leaned in close and whispered, "It's time," in my ear. The next thing I knew, I was being wheeled out of the ICU and into some kind of dark, abandoned room. Thompson was pushing the gurney, and her eyes were black as coal. I tried to scream, but my voice was hoarse and barely audible. That's when I realized that I wasn't just a patient. I was a specimen, a test subject. And Thompson was the one conducting the experiment. I don't know what happened next. I blacked out, and when I woke up, I was back in my hospital bed. The surgery was over, and Thompson was gone. The doctors told me that everything had gone smoothly, and I was lucky to be alive. But I know what I saw. I know what I felt. And I know that Nurse Thompson was not what she seemed. She was something else, something sinister, something evil. And sometimes, in the dead of night, I still hear her voice whispering, "I'll take care of you." I've tried to move on with my life, to put that night behind me. But the memories linger, haunting me like a ghost. I've had nightmares and flashbacks. I've seen Thompson's face in my dreams. Her eyes black as coal, her smile twisted and wrong. I've tried to tell people about it, but they just don't believe me. They think I'm crazy, or that I imagined the whole thing. But I know what I saw. I know what I felt. And I'm starting to think that I'm not alone. There are others out there. Others who have experienced the same thing. Others who have seen the shadow in the ICU and lived to tell the tale. If you're reading this, and you've had a similar experience, I want to hear from you. I want to know that I'm not crazy. That I'm not the only one who has seen the darkness that lurks in the shadows of the hospital. Let's uncover the truth together. Let's expose the sinister forces that lurk in the ICU and bring them to justice. The darkness is out there waiting to